Ako urong dito, and I said I would stake my honor, my life, and even the presidency.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome the President of the Philippines, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte. For his welcome remarks, may we call on the Governor of the Province of Kamsur, Governor Migs Villaferte.
Diyos maray na hapon and good afternoon to everyone. Una po sa lahat, nagpapasalamat po on behalf of the provincial government and the people of Kamsur kay Pangulong Duterte sa lahat po ng tulong niya before, during, after the typhoon at sa marami pa pong tulong na babagsak dito po sa Bicolandia. Sa lahat po ng mga cabinet secretaries, directors, mga kapwa ko government employees and officials, ramdam na ramdam po namin ang malasakit, ang pagmamahal at di hamak basta po tayo lahat nagkakaisa, nagtutulungan, mabilis pong babangon ang Bicolandia. So welcome po to Kamsur and good afternoon. Diyos mabalos po.
Thank you so much, Governor Migs Villaferte. Now, may we call on Dr. Landrico Dalida Jr., Deputy Administrator for Operations and Services of PAGASA, to present the post-analysis of Tropical Depression Usman.
Magandang umaga po sa aming mahal na presidente at sa magandang hapon po pala nakinakabahan na po. Aming mahal na presidente at ang ating mga kasamahan po rito. Ito po ang naging kaganapan ng ang Tropical Depression Usman ay dumaan po sa ating bansa, lalo na po rito sa Kabikulan. At makikita po natin, ito po ang infrared image ng Himawari 8 ng Japan Meteorological Agency na kung saan ang mga kulay pong yan na nagsasabi kung saan po ang mga malalakas na pag-ulan. Ito po ay ginagamit ang temperature at ang pula po ay nagsasabi na ito po ay napaka-intense. Ang susunod po ay dilaw, blue, and later, at saka yan po ang sumunod po. So ito po mga pula, nakikita natin na habang ito po ay bago mag-landfall, ay tumama na po dito sa Borongan. Nag-landfall po dito sa Borongan noong December ng 28 at ito po ay alas 6 ng umaga. At nung tumama po ito sa Borongan, nakita po natin na nawasak ang kanyang mga formation at makikita po natin na nawala po ang mga pula, although ito po ay pagkatapos na tumama sa kalupaan. At nagbigay po ng ang NDMC ay nagkaroon po ng post-disaster risk assessment bago po ito tumama sa kalupaan noong December 26 at nagbigay na po tayo ng tropical cyclone warning. At ito po ay nasundan pa po kinabukasan, December 27, nagbigay po ulit ng presscon ang Pag-asa at ang second NDMC Pedra. At dito po sa local po ay nagkaroon na po tayo ng Pedra rin po dito sa Legazpi. Next po. At ito po ang isa sa mga kuha pa rin na kung saan bago ito po mag-landfall ay makikita po natin ang tail end of the cold front na kung saan nagbigay pa po ng malakas na mga pag-ulan dito po sa kalupaan, lalo na po dito sa may Kabikulan. At isa pa po ang northeast monsoon o amihan. Next. Ito nga po ang sinabi ko na kaganapan na kung saan ito ay nag-landfall noong December 20, yeah, 27, December 28, ito po ay naglandfall. At nung 29 nga po, ay nagiba po ito. At nung 31 ng December, ito po ay naging LPA na po at palabas na po sa Philippine Area of Responsibility. Ano po ba, nagkaroon po tayo, next po, ito po ang naging parang kanyang track na pagkatapos tumama ng Borongan, tumama po ng Samar area, kasama na po dyan ang Bicol area, papunta po ng, lumabas pa po ng Palawan. Next po. Sige po, next po. Ito po yung ating mga na-register na mga pag-ulan using mga Pag-asa Automatic Weather Station, ang Pag-asa DOST. Kasama na po dyan ang mga 6 na probinsya. At makikita po natin noong December 26 na hindi pa po naglalandfall, ay halos makikita na halos zero. No, next. Next po. Itong 27 at 28, makikita po natin na unti-unti na pong dumarami ang mga nakukuha natin na 24-hour rainfall at dito na po sa may bandang kulay green na 575 na kung saan nandiriyan po ang Sagnay, malapit na rin po dyan ang Tiwi, ay napakaraming pag-ulan pa po ang nangyari nung December 28. Next po. At ito po ang nangyayari, no? Ibig sabihin, noong December 28, ay yan po ang mga nangyayaring kaganapan sa bagyong Usman at makikita po natin yung mga pula ay halos nasa kalupaan na. At ito nga po ang sinasabi natin na sentro ng mga maraming mga pag-ulan. Next po. At noong 29, ito po yung mga gumuho at nagkaroon po ng landslide. Dito po sa may bandang Kamsur, sa Sangay, dito pa sa Tiwi, nagkaroon din po sa may Sorsogon, sa may Bulan at sa may Bulusan. At nakikita po natin na nag-more than 100 po ang mga millimeter of rainfall ang tumama dyan na showing na ito pong parang naging threshold na nag-more than 100 ay magkakaroon na po ng mga pagguho, nagkaroon na po ng pagbaha sa area po natin. So, noong 30, next, ito po yung kaganapan nung sa 29 na halos ang pula ay nasa buong Kamsur, Bisaya, at habang ito ay nagtatraverse toward Palawan area. At next, ito na po ang December 30 na kung nakita po natin ay paunti-unti na pong nawawala o unti-unti na po ang mga pag-ulan sa area. At dahil dito, ang tropical depression po ay halos nandito po sa western part of the Philippines. Next po. At ito po ang kaganapan na halos nabuwag na po siya noong December 30 at yung mga pula ay paunti-unti na lang. Kaya nakikita natin na bumaba ang amount of rainfall sa area. Next po. At ito po ang parang ang summary. Kung titingnan po natin ang DAET na ang kanyang total rainfall na monthly rainfall niya po na normal ay nasa 588. Sa 10 araw ay ito po ay naging 870. Ibig sabihin po niyan, ang normal rainfall po ng DAET na malapit po sa Kamsur ay 588 lang po sa isang buwan. Ngunit sa 10 araw na ibinuhos ni Usman, sa 10 araw, ito po ay na-over niya po ang normal natin na 870 na pwede pong magbigay ng mga pagbaha at landslide sa area. At dito, kitang-kita po natin, lahat yan ay nag-more than 100 na kung saan nagkaroon ng mga kaganapan, landslide at pagbaha po. Next. Yan po. Yan po ang summary po ng kaganapan po ng pagtama ng Usman dito sa Borongan, Samar at naapekto sa Bicol hanggang ito po ay lumabas na po ng 31 noong December 31 po. Marami pong salamat.
Thank you, Dr. Dalida. Next, to present the NDRRMC Preparedness and Response Actions on the Tropical Depression Usman, may we call on Undersecretary Ricardo B. Halad, NDRRMC Executive Director.
Good afternoon, Mr. President, as well as to the members of the cabinet, local chief executives present, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I will next present the preparedness measures and our response actions in connection with tropical depression Usman, as well as other talking points as shown. First, on our preparedness measures, 4 days before the landfall of Tropical Depression Usman, the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council conducted 2 pre-disaster risk assessment meetings, or PDRA, last December 26 and December 27. The PDRA was participated by various NDRMC member agencies such as the Office of Civil Defense, PAGASA, DNR-MGB, DILG, DSWD, DPWH, and other agencies as shown. It was discussed during the PDRA the possible effects of Tropical Depression Usman, including the heavy and moderate rainfall that will affect the Eastern Visayas, Quezon, Bicol region, Calabarzon, and Mimaropa. The following slides will provide us the preparedness measures conducted by the different member agencies. On the part of the ILG, it activated its operation list of protocols and prioritized prepositioning of supplies and equipment for response. It also recommended LGUs to activate their respective evacuation centers. On the part of DSWD, they checked on their prepositioning of food and non-food items ready for distribution in the regions. Likewise, the Department of Health checked on its prepositioning of medicines and medical supplies. And also in that PDRA meetings, the DANR MGB, or Mines Geoscience Bureau, presented the list of areas susceptible to rain-induced landslides and flooding, and they continuously issued memorandum regarding that. Various other agencies carried out preparedness measures as shown. The Department of Energy alerted Task Force on Energy Resiliency and activated Operation Center. The National Electrification Administration activated their Emergency Restoration Organization. Also, the NGCP prepositioned line crews to strategic areas, while the DOTR issued memorandum to its heads of sectoral and attached agencies to monitor issuance of Tropical Depression Usman and situation of Tropical Depression Usman, and ensure 24 hours of mission of updates to their Emergency Operations Center. The Office of Civil Defense, being the overall implementing arm of the NDRMC, sent emergency alert and warning messages based on rainfall warning provided by PAGASA, and shown are the samples of the AWM, which were sent direct to the subscribers of Globe and Smart, as directed by PAGASA. Also, the Office of Civil Defense issued memoranda to all regions regarding preparedness actions for residents in areas susceptible to landslides and flooding. And shown also are a snapshot of the preparedness measures of the various, or the 7 regional disaster risk reduction and management councils, which is to be affected by Tropical Depression Usman. Right after Christmas, the operation centers of these regional DRM councils activated their alert statuses in preparation for Tropical Depression Usman. Next, I would like to present are the effects of Tropical Depression Usman. The following is a summary of the effects of Tropical Depression Usman. The data that we will be presenting are based on the report submitted to the NDRMC Operations Center. As of this moment, a total of 75,000 families or 308,000 individuals were reported as affected population of the tropical depression. A total of 2,896 damaged houses was reported, 698 of which was reported as totally damaged, and while 2,198 were partially damaged. 208 areas were flooded, 95 roads and 3 bridges, road sections and 3 bridges were damaged, and 36 domestic flights were canceled. Meanwhile, in Region 5, a total of 23,000 families or 108,000 individuals were affected. 52 road sections and 1 bridge were damaged, and cancellation of flights as shown. Flooded areas, 78, of which as of now 44 have already subsided. Damaged houses are still being assessed within the region. And Tropical Depression Usman likewise damaged power supply. A total of 104 areas experienced power interruption in the 4 regions affected, as shown. It is unfortunate that despite of all the preparedness measures being done, there are still reported casualties of Tropical Depression Usman, which was caused by landslides and flooding. Here in Region 5, a total of 102 landslide incidents were reported, resulting to 75 casualties. 82 flooding incidents were reported in the region, resulting to 12 individuals dead. Shown is the casualty figure as of today in Region 5. We have 105 dead, 23 missing, and 52 injured. And this is the overall figure of casualties in the 4 regions affected by Tropical Depression Usman. 122 dead, 28 missing, and 60 injured. Shown is the damage to agriculture in Region 5. As of latest estimate, it is at 368 million pesos. Broken down into, for crops, 326 million, high-value crops, 39 million, livestock, 2 million, and fisheries, 807,000. Tropical Depression Usman also led to damages to infrastructures in Region 5, amounting to 2 billion, broken down as shown. Roads, 1.4 billion, bridges, 65 million, and flood controls, 518 million. And shown are the local government units that declared state of calamity as of this time. Following our framework in our DRRM, which is top-down and bottom-up, we will now show our response actions. The response actions are basically led by the LGUs affected and actively supported by the national government agencies. A total of 42 million was already provided by OCD, the SWD, LGUs, and NGOs to the areas affected in Memorapa, Region 5, and Region 8. I will next show the response actions of the different local government units in Region 5. The incident management teams were activated by the different LGUs even before the landfall of Tropical Depression Usman. And supported by the provincial and national line agencies, the different LGUs led the conduct of search, rescue, and retrieval operations in different affected areas here in Bicol region. The photos presented to us are the different incident command posts established in different areas. Next are the response augmentation from the national government agencies. The Office of Civil Defense distributed family packs as shown. It likewise assisted in the transportation of logistics and facilitation of the augmentation from national government agencies. DSWD provided family food packs and other non-food items as relief augmentation to affected LGUs. They also deployed their Rapid Emergency Telecom Teams, or RET, here in Camarines Sur. And last December 31, the Secretary of DSWD, Secretary Bautista, went to this area, and it is shown in this picture. The DOH has an ongoing rapid health assessment. It provided various medicines and hygiene kits in different affected areas. The Philippine National Police actively participated or conducted search, rescue, and retrieval operations, as well as providing security in areas affected. Philippine Coast Guard likewise deployed their search and rescue teams. The Philippine Army as well participated in search and rescue, and as well as providing transportation assistance in evacuation and movement of logistics. The Philippine Air Force, we relied on much on the transportation of logistics from Manila to the affected regions. Likewise, we also got the involvement of the 5OPIP rescue squadron and deployed in areas with landslide. The Naval Forces Southern Luzon likewise were deployed. Also, the Bureau of Fire Protection with their search and rescue or special response units conducting search, rescue, and retrieval operations in various landslide incident areas. The DPWH has ongoing road clearing operations in the various landslide areas along the highways. Those are just some of the operations conducted by the national government agencies. Now for our recommendations and observations. First is that the local government units should have access to real-time rainfall data so that they will be able to understand more the impact of the heavy rainfall or advisories coming from PAGASA. And we recommend that PAGASA to provide the LGUs access to this rainfall data in the various rain gauges deployed nationwide. But of course, first they have to make sure that these rainfall gauges are well maintained and storing and providing accurate data. Another observation is the enhancement of the awareness and preparedness of the local government units, the disaster risk reduction management offices, and community on the hazard and risk assessment, risk communication, early warning system, and monitoring. And we recommend that the ILD to strictly implement the policy on preventive measures and activities such as training on community-based disaster risk reduction management and early warning system. We noticed the high number of deaths observed caused by landslides, and we recommend that those living or those communities along landslide-prone areas be relocated. The local government unit of Sangay already conducted forced evacuation on the remaining houses close to the landslide areas in the municipality, and these people cannot stay permanently in the evacuation center. They need to be relocated to permanent relocation sites. And with that, we need the assistance of the National Housing Authority to these local government units. We also encountered challenges in communication system, and therefore we recommend that the ICT to pursue its government emergency communication system project implementation. This will support the guidance of the President given during our presentation to him during our preparation for Typhoon Ompong in Camp Aguinaldo, wherein he directed that we should have a good communication system for disaster response. This is the features of the JEX project of the ICT. It will have mobile operations vehicle for emergency or MOVE. It will have disaster risk reduction management information system and capacity building and information caravan. And this is the network diagram of the JEX projects. The MOVE vehicle, which is at the center of this JEX project, will have communications capability utilizing high frequency and very high frequency radios, as well as voice and data communication through satellite. It will have the capability to connect to the operation center in Camp Aguinaldo, to the regional operation centers, as well as to the teams to be deployed in the assessment of the effects of any disaster. Another recommendation is the low implementation of preemptive evacuation and observation. And we recommend that the ILG to require LGUs to have evacuation plan included in the local DRRM plan. It is not enough that these local government units are given advisories. These advisories should result to decision points included in their evacuation plan, eventually leading, if the situation worsens, to evacuation of their people. And therefore, with that, there should also be evacuation centers to accommodate the evacuees. And so we also recommend that the PWH to continuously implement construction of NDRRMC approved design of evacuation centers, which are being funded in the GAA of 2019 in the amount of, I think, 2.1 billion, although that budget is still to be approved by Congress. This will support the directive of the President also, sir, given during our preparation for Typhoon Ompong, that we should have more evacuation centers. And following the concept that of top-down and bottom-up, it's not only the responsibility of the national government agencies for the LGUs to have evacuation centers. They can also convert available facilities like multipurpose halls, gyms, to evacuation centers. I will show, sir, the design of evacuation centers made by NHA based on the instruction by Secretary Tolentino when he was still with the cabinet. The building cost will be in the amount of 26.43 million per unit. with the following features. It will have parking space, delivery parking, laundry and drying area, material recovery facility, cistern tank. Its accommodation area it's basically a covered court which can be converted to evacuation space and has other facilities like mess hall with kitchen, administration office, storage area, play area with breastfeeding room, conjugal space, male and female toilet and bath, clinic and prayer room. So this is the top view of the multipurpose covered court or evacuation center. So during normal condition, this can be used as basketball court or badminton court or volleyball court. So we will be able to contribute to promotion of sports at the grassroots. So that is the features of our evacuation center, which will hopefully be implemented with the approval of the 2019 budget. So our next step, sir, is the provision of early recovery interventions such as livelihood assistance to affected farmers and fisher folks and other people. And primarily, this will involve the Department of Agriculture for the farmers, the BFAR for the fisher folks, DOLE, and DTI. And next is the planning for the full recovery and rehabilitation of areas affected by Tropical Depression Usman. This will involve all the National DRRM Council member agencies, and the planning meetings will be led actively by NEDA and OCD. And we also have an update on the ground zero operation in the landslide area in Sagnay. If we can connect through satellite, can we have the feed, please? Yes, sir. Live from Sagnay. Sean is the incident commander, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. President, sir. I'm Police Inspector Antonino Florencio Rivera, Incident Commander of Tropical Depression Usman, Municipality of Sangay, Camarines Sur. As of 10 a.m. today, we have recovered 31 dead and we still have 15 missing. So ngayon, mahal na Pangulo, patuloy ang ginagawang retrieval operation dito sa Sitio Garang, Barangay Patitinaan, Sangay, Camarines Sur, na kung saan dito ang may pinakamalaking landslide. Tumutulong ngayon ang Police Regional Office 5, MMDA Public Safety Division, PNP Sangay, Camarines Sur Police Provincial Office, Bureau of Fire Protection, Region 5, Philippine Coast Guard, Bicol, 505th SRT Philippine Air Force, 525th Engineering Battalion Philippine Army, 8th IV Philippine Army. Sa landslide clearing naman, mga presidente, magkatuwang ang 565 Engineer Construction Battalion at TPWA. That's all, Mr. President. Sir, thank you.
Thank you very much. So that ends the presentation on update on our response operations in connection with Tropical Depression Usman, sir.
Thank you, Yusek Halad. Now we shall hear the President's guidance.
I'd like to hear from the Department of Agriculture. What is the assessment and what needs to be done?
Thank you, Mr. President. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, just like NDRRMC, the DA also has a real-time monitoring of tropical disturbances. We call it DREAMS. And we have been monitoring the movement of TD Usman since December 25. So we were able to preposition. Our latest figures, Mr. President, was as of 8 p.m. last night. So medyo may diferensya po yung numbers namin sa numbers ng NDRRMC. Sir, as of last night, 8 p.m., estimated damage to agriculture is 801 million. Affected farming and fishing families, 37,419. Total affected areas, 39,582 hectares. Production loss estimated at 18,763 metric tons. Ang pinakamalaki pong damage, rice. 697 million involving 30,000 farmers and fisher folks and 33,000 hectares. Sa irrigation naman po, medyo minimal. But we were able to preposition everything, Mr. President, because we actually were projecting this. So ready na po kami with 10,000 bags of seeds. 5,000 is already here. 5,000 will be coming in by next week. And the only consolation, Mr. President, is that while there was damage in the rice crops, the rice actually were in the vegetative stage. Katatanim pa lang po. So we have a chance of recovering. And again, another consolation is that since we are bringing in seeds to be given out to the farmers, we will be expecting an increased production. Kasi po ang dala nating binhi ngayon, hybrid and magandang klaseng inbred. So papalitan po natin lahat ng mga binhi nila. Madidelay lang po tayo ng konti sa harvest time natin, but we are expecting actually a higher production because of what happened. Parang blessing in disguise. Mr. President, we would like to thank you for approving on December 28 additional 5 billion for the rice industry. We were advised by DBM that you have approved this allocation, and we thank you. It gives us greater flexibility in addressing disasters like this. So because of this, Mr. President, we were able to visit Masbate yesterday, Albay yesterday, and of course Camarines Sur. We have committed 20 million pesos for loaning assistance to Masbate farmers and fisher folks, 50 million for Albay, and 100 million for Camarines Sur. Ito po yung easy access credit natin available for farmers. Within the next 2 weeks, Mr. President, we will also be releasing 5,000 pesos initially para sa pagkain po ng mga farmers na affected under our program, Survival and Recovery Loaning Program. Ito po yung pautang ng DA na 3 taon bago bayaran, walang interest, walang collateral. Pambili lang po nila ng pagkain at saka pang-recover until such time that they are able to harvest again. Within the next 2 weeks, Mr. President, we will be releasing the insurance payments already under the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation. And 10,000 bags of seeds will be available for immediate replanting as soon as the floods subside. We have 7,000 bags of rice daily available for the whole region. This will be good for 40 days, Mr. President. We have pre-positioned this already. And we have directed, para matulungan po yung mga farmers na tinamaan ngayon, we have directed NFA, following your directive, na maging aggressive sa pagbili ng local palay production ng mga farmers. I told the NFA Region 5 that we will operate like private traders. If the private traders go around, we will also go around and buy the palay of the farmers to protect them from lower prices. Also, Mr. President, using our Quick Reaction Fund, we will help in the repair of the irrigation systems and canals, even if this is under the NIA, because kailangan po ng ating mga farmers dahil nasira po yung mga kanal. Mr. President, these are so far our reports based on what we have done. And tomorrow, sir, I will be flying to Northern Samar because it was also affected by typhoon. And I will report to you whatever we will gather in Northern Samar, sir. Thank you, sir.
May we ask Secretary Belio what is happening in the labor front? How many people are marginalized or out of job? Or is there a need for you to infuse money.
Mr. President, thank you. Yung aming report, Mr. President, from our regional office, may konting variation from the reports earlier submitted. Pero hindi importante sa amin yun, Mr. President. What we are going to present today is that we are ready to dispose of 10 million as financial assistance to OFWs affected by this Typhoon Usman. In addition, Mr. President, we are prepared to give 3,000 affected residents of Sangay and Kiwi, about 3,000 of them, and give them an emergency employment for 15 days, which would entitle them to about 3,000, which would amount to about 10 million, Mr. President. Yung aming available funds for the OFWs is about 85 million, pero nandyan na po yung 10 million dala-dala namin para sa mga affected OFWs. In addition, Mr. President, we also have livelihood projects for all those affected by Typhoon Usman. Yun po ang amin.
How much? Livelihood project.
Wala pong limit, Mr. President. Basta kung anong kailangan ng mga affected residents, we are ready to give them the necessary financial assistance, Mr.
You have the
President.
money now.
Well, Mr. President?
You have the money now.
Yes, Mr. President. Ready na po.
Like to know from the General Bautista. Kindly give me a picture of what the department did all along.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, prior to the arrival of the typhoon, we have already feeding those who were stranded due to the prohibition of the Coast Guard of traveling by sea. So we already started providing them food for those who are stranded. Then prior to the arrival of the typhoon, we already 2 days before the arrival, we already propositions more than 30,000 food packs at the different provinces of Region 5, and as well as more than 20,000 non-food items. This includes the malong, the hygiene kits, family kits, and among others. But at the height of the typhoon, more than 10,000 food packs were distributed. 17,000 plus non-food items were distributed. And as of now, we have 5 million on standby funds intended for immediate assistance. Then we have a standby of 20,000 food packs, standby for distribution, and there will be also pushing more than 30,000 family food packs anytime today, just to ensure that if there will be an access to the affected areas, then we can immediately respond to those who affected individuals and communities. So as a wholesale, the DSWD is prepared and can accommodate any request from the different LGUs.
Okay. Secretary Anyo, General Anyo, give me the...
Yes, sir. For the DILG, sir, before the onslaught of the typhoon, the DILG, through our regional offices, have issued the advisory to the LGUs to activate their local DRRMC. And then we also advise the local government officials to be present in their stations. And I can say that about 94% of the mayors are there. Those who have already asked for leave, there are OICs and acting mayors that were designated who attended to the needs of their constituents. And based on the briefing, really the problem that arose are the landslides that actually aggravated the situation and caused casualties. That is why we are going to propose for the possible forced evacuation of residents before onslaught of typhoons. And then for the long term, we will program the relocation of families living in landslide-prone areas. And for the assistance to the municipalities, our priorities would be the construction of local evacuation centers. Aside from the regional evacuation centers to be constructed by the DPWH, particularly in the eastern seaboard of our country, where about 15 to 20 typhoons are visited every year. The performance of our LGUs are commendable, although we still have a lot of casualties. But for the succeeding preparations, we'll make sure that we will aim for zero casualty, Mr. President.
I agree with you that was the second time that this matter has been brought up. Alam mo, every typhoon calamity that would need the evacuation of people, the public schools really suffer. And also it disturbs the system. It causes an aberration, rather, in the schooling of children. In the matter of building some structure to accommodate evacuees, maybe General Del Rosario can give us a blueprint of that in about, since you are here and you can go around and study. Pakitingin nga kung pwede ba itong, it has to be a durable one, cemento, but this can only be used for evacuation purposes and to keep the people safe and not to disturb the resumption of the governmental functions that we have, the ministrant, schooling and everything, na hindi mang-restorbo in this area. This is the second time. Baka if you are not so loaded with work in Marawi, you might also want to assign one guy here to do just the observation, and for you to go around. I'd suggest what would be the best remedy. You can always contact General Anyo.
We'll do that, Mr. President.
How about our communications, General Rio?
Good afternoon, Mr. President. So far, Typhoon Usman has not, no damages were reported on our telecommunication infrastructure, except for some disruption in services because of lack of power. But when these cell sites have genset and when they were used up to now, we have 100%, we have restored 100% services, telecommunication services. What was affected more was our free Wi-Fi hotspots. 19 access points were affected because of lack of power, sir. And also the government emergency communication system, we had some problem in its bidding. However, we were able to obligate it before the end of 2018, and we will have this system operationalized by the first quarter of this year, sir. So we will have more, our communication set up in case of emergency will be more effective, sir.
Matanong kita, are other projects that are ongoing running smoothly? Do you have any particular project, including the telco, that is now the subject of a litigation. Because I've always warned the judiciary not to interfere about injunctions and all, because it will delay the projects of government.
Well, sir, so far because of your strong political will, you have already announced that, sir, way back when you were pushing us for the third telco, you already announced that I don't want any injunction. And so far, sir, no injunction, no terms of temporary restraining order was ever done by any court on any of our projects in telecommunication.
Yes, sir. Yan kasi ang pinakakwartahan nila. Some son of a bitch would file an opposition or an objection, then he goes to court. Who is this idiot itong nag-file ng kaso sa Telco?
Well, sir, hindi na namin pinapansin to, sir. We are sure it will not really prosper. We can answer all their concerns, sir, in court. So far, we were not yet brought to court, sir. So, tuloy-tuloy ho ito. We will have a third telecommunication by middle part of this year, sir. Wala na itong problema, sir.
Worst comes to worst, never mind it. You know, if you give importance to every governmental action by other branches of government or department, bigyan mo ng matatagalan talaga tayo. Why don't you just go ahead and wait, if you are cited in contempt of court, you can always go to jail for that.
Yes, sir. That's what we are doing. Tuloy-tuloy lang, sir. Wala naman nagbibigay.
Basta wala lang corruption.
Yes, sir. We
That's
make sure of
the only
that.
thing I am worried about. But if there's an insistence on our part to go ahead with the job, and it's clean, no corruption is involved.
Yes, sir.
They can all go to hell, you can proceed.
Yes, sir. You can be assured that we will follow your instructions, your desires, sir.
So, Ed, yung bahay na sinasabi ni General Anyo, tulungan ko yung sa housing, maybe you can. Is Escalada here?
Andito sir yung regional director ng NHA.
Kuha lang din yun ng it has to be a concrete. I would not be satisfied with yung mga kahoy-kahoy lang. They will be the first to go if the winds come. This is quite a novelty of present time because walang hangin, puro tubig. So nakita ko kanina, it has become a huge lake. And nataas ito sa bukid. And I do not see any, paano ito, I may ask General Simato, paano mo i-drain yan, sir? Yung tubig dyan ngayon. You are through with Boracay. It's clean. Maybe you can get rid also of the water there because it cannot stay. They cannot make use of the land.
In the map, Mr. President, this area is really, the elevation, normal elevation in the area is really low, mababa po, kaya konting lang yan, nababaha rito eh. But to drain it really is, takes nature itself by evaporation po, ito eh, it takes by evaporation, it takes time, mag-evaporate naman yan. But to drain kasi, ginagamit po ito sa rice fields eh, yung normally kung nagagamit, nag-evaporate po ito eh, basti agriculture. But to drain it, yung nakita no, when we came here by helicopter, Mr. President, nakita ko yung mga also there. And medyo matagal na rin yata yun, hindi pa nag-subside. So we can drain it by mechanical way, by meron sa mga pump out naman ito. Yan, yung ginagawa nila doon sa Netherlands, Amsterdam, may ganun po. They bring out the water. Kasi below sea level po kasi yun eh. Yung sa lugar na yan. Ginagamit nila yung windmill noon, yung old windmill. Eh wala naman po ito ngayon dito. So, mechanical siguro if you have to drain them. But it will be very costly. So, just leave it muna for a drainage system.
Are those equipment available here? Can we buy them here?
It pop out, Mr. President. There are some big pumps that can bring out the water to the sea. Ano na mangyayari, but ito naman, problema naman sa pollution pa naman ito, sir, kasi medyo hindi pa masyadong malinis siguro itong ano, so it might pollute again the sea. So might as well contain it muna for the meantime and prevent it to ano muna. It will take siguro weeks ito bago maano naman ito mag-evaporate.
Yes, sir.
Sir, if I may suggest, yung Bicol River po, which is the main cause of the baha in Camarines Sur, 80% of the Bicol River is in Camarines Sur. It's the catch basin. So kung umulan po sa Albay, kahit na hindi umuulan sa Camsur, yung tubig nila po pupunta sa amin. Then kung umulan sa Camarines Norte po, kahit hindi umuulan sa Camarines Sur, mababaha rin kami dahil papasok sa Polantuna River. So I think, sir, the basic solution lang po is i-dredge po, i-desilt yung Bicol River. For example po sa Bicol River, sir, pag high tide, dumadaan po yung boat. Pag hapon, hindi na makadaan, ganun po kababa. More than 30 years na po, last na dredge yan. The province is dredging it, but dalawa lang ang equipment. Maybe if the national government can dredge the Bicol River, masosolve po yung, or mamimitigate, maminimize po yung baha, sir.
DPWH. Yes.
Sir, Undersecretary Abot.
No. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Actually, sir, yung pong Bicol River Basin Development Feasibility Study was prepared sometime 2003. Nagmeeting po ang DNR at saka po yung NEDA and DPWH to revisit that we were given the 100 million to revisit the study that was conducted by the World Bank in 2003 for updating po. We bid out the consultancy for this preparation of the master plan and revisit of the Bicol River Basin, as mentioned by Congressman Villapuerte. And hopefully we will be able to award next week yung pong revisit ng study ng master plan.
Yes. Yes.
Bicol River, sir, ang kailang i-dredge. If you remember, sir, we were in Cagayan Valley, October 2016, Typhoon Lawin. And you said that dapat i-review na kung pwedeng i-dredge yung Cagayan River. Kasi mababaw na talaga, sir. Cagayan River, Pampanga River, Bicol River, Rio Grande do Sul, Abusan River. These are the major river systems, Mr. President. And if we could dredge,
Well, yeah, we can. We will buy, but do we have the money? Is in your budget?
It's not gonna be under agriculture, sir. PWH is under agriculture. I'm just emphasizing, sir, the importance of dredging these rivers because the floodings actually, Mr. President, affect agriculture. Agusan River, for example, Mr. President, ang lapad ng pwedeng taniman ng palay dyan. Kaya lang tuwing tag-ulan, the waters would be there for about 1 or 2 months. So talagang hindi mataniman, sir. Itong Camarines, sir, napakayaman na, in fact, they have very high yield in Camarines Sur, sir. 4.47 higher than the national. Pero pag ganitong tagulan, talagang nababaha yung kanilang production area, sir.
Yung ganito?
Yes, sir. So I'm endorsing, sir, the suggestion of Governor El Rey, not only for Bicol River, Mr. President, but also for Rio Grande de Mindanao, Agusan River, Candaba River, Cagayan Valley, all the major river systems, Mr. President, should be reviewed and dredged if possible. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. How much? Alam mo, nandito yung mga congressman. have strongly recommended the abolition of the road tax. Yes, sir. I mean, you and I know that it was really a milking cow for yun sa corruption. So, baka matuloy naman yan, baka yung pera na yan, pwede nating gamitin dito. I would like to hear the devil's advocate, the critique of I said, I'm ready to hear the critique or the devil's advocate in this crowd.
I'm not the devil, sir. But kasi meron nung economic philosophy po yung road board. I mean to say the road tax. It's supposed to provide continuous funding of maintenance in order to prolong the life of the shelf life of our roads. So if we shift it to another purpose, Mr. President, we have to continuously seek and compete for other funds within the GAA framework. So, hindi naman po ako, I'm definitely, pwede naman natin i-GAA yan, pero we should dedicate it for road maintenance, Mr. President. Doon naman po sa what to do with the lakes. Dati dalawa lang yan, bato tsaka buhi. Ito kasi yung parte ng Kamsur, now you have 4, Baaw Lake and Nabwa Lake. So, basically, Mr. President, it is situated between 2 faults. I think you are here. So, it is naturally sinking. So, originally in 1997, there was a study by JBIC, which is to be updated, which actually asked for the conversion of no, not the Bato Lake, the Baaw into a lake. Para po magawa na talaga as a reservoir, as a sinking, basically as a sinking, Kaso nag-oppose po during the EIA, social acceptability. So hindi po yun natuloy. That was supposed to be in 1997, the biggest project of then President Ramos, which is about 47 billion. I don't know how much it will be now. But generally, Mr. President, although I agree na we could in the short term, maibsan po, pero I think there has to be a more permanent and structured solution. Is one, do we accept it that it has to be a lake because of its geological features? Second, but of course, magagalit po yung DA, but at the same time, at least yung Nabwa, from my view, can be salvaged, but Baaw definitely has already structurally be converted into a reservoir and serve other economic purposes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Sir, we support the abolition of the road board. In fact, I'm one of the principal authors. We support your move. Yung study lang po, yung sinasabi po ni Yusek Payabot, as of 2003 po, sir, meron na pong study about the Bicol River Basin water resource development, sir. All we need to do is update. Kasi sir, talagang kahit konting ulan, mismo yung national highway po dito, konting ulan po nagbabaha. Then Camarines Sur po is 6 in rice production. Pero despite na nagbabaha, can you imagine po sir kung hindi na magbabaha dito, baka number 2, number 3 po kami. So konting ulan po sir, baha ang kalye, apektado ang farmers, tapos yung livelihood ng mga tao po. So sana po ma-resolve under your administration yung problem sa basin po sir.
Kausapin ko si Senate President, pati si Speaker, pati kayo. Wala akong objection kung tanggalin. Tatanggalin ko talaga yan. It cannot remain there as potang inang corruption dyan. Ilagay ko, DPWH or what, payag ako unahin kayo dito. You'll have the first. So, yung first project, kasi tayo man nag-usap dito, I'll commit to you that the very first projects that will be undertaken under that fund, if it's transferred to a DPWH or sa agriculture, okay ako. We'll start with tayo mga sobra-sobra na lang because Agusan is really a marshland. actually. Marshland ang agusan, so mahirap. It has to evolve into something like, but that would depend on the inroads of civilization. It's actually a marshland, or ano bang sa Bisaya yan? Pagatpatan, swamp. Pagatpatan sa Bisaya. Mahirap yan. I've been there. I've been hunting in that place. Medyo, unahin na muna natin yung para sa mga gwapong tao sa Pilipinas, mga Bicolano. Tayo ni Joy. Sige, apayag ako, totoo. We will work together, convince Congress. Wala naman silang magawa talaga dyan. Ayaw ko talaga. Baski saan nyo lagay. I will not release any single centavo there. Nanginayang ako. But if it can put to good use, kagaya ng perennial ninyo dito, paano ninyo kunin yung tubig dyan? Matagal pa yan. Unless you pray for a dry spell of about half the year. So, okay ako dyan. Unahin muna ang Bicol. With that money, I will give you my commitment that you'll be the first. Yes. Kunin talaga natin yung pera na. I will get it, put it somewhere else so it can, para maano sa tao. And, ma'am, how about the disturbance of the school ng mga bata?
Mr. President, I only have 4 very short points. One is the cost of the damage to facilities brought about by Usman. Ang tentative estimate is about 237 million, excluding the damaged computers, which is quite tragic because we already started our projects of delivering new computers, equipment, textbooks, and furniture. Buildings lang yan, 237 million for the entire region. And I noticed that the mention was made of more than 100 casualties. Sa aming count, 32 of them were learners, so that's nearly a third. Learners, children, because when these tragedies happen at night, usually the children are the most helpless. Now, the second point I'd like to emphasize, Mr. President, is that right now our quick response fund is 2 billion. And we estimate already that with Ompong and the other earlier disasters, maubos na yung 2 billion na yan, plus Usman. So after Usman, we probably will already have exhausted available funds for quick response. Also, another response on the side of DepEd is that we plan, together with the SWD, to hold a special Brigada Eskwela. Kasi every year we have Brigada Eskwela for the entire year, wherein the entire community, parents, teachers, various groups help out in cleaning the schools, giving supplies, painting, and so on and so forth. Now, we are considering for Region 5 a special Brigada Eskwela. The way we did it, Mr. President, for Marawi, you had a special Brigada Eskwela for Marawi. A third, Mr. President, is we have been watching the pattern of the damage caused by natural disasters. And traditionally, these were caused by strong typhoons and strong winds. Kaya ang aming standard for school buildings is kailangan 350 kilometer wind velocity. But now we notice that a tropical depression can unleash and trigger tragedies and destruction of even greater magnitude. And this is because of floods and landslides. And this is what most of us in government or agencies are not prepared for, the flooding and the landslides. We are prepared for the winds, we are prepared for the heat, and so on, because we plan for it. Pero ngayon, a building feature now of disasters is the smallest depression already triggers floods and landslides, as in the case of Sagnay. Kasi it's not even a storm, Mr. President, pero baha na. So right now, ang aming concern is, fixing our buildings, etc. But if you want to respond to this rising challenge of floods and landslides, we have to consider slope protection for schools which are, at the foot of hills or on top of the hills, higher elevations of schools, and even transfer of school sites from hazardous sites, which before were very safe, dry and so on, but are now submerged in water. And so this would require bigger amounts of investment, not only for us in the Department of Education, but for all public facilities and even private facilities. We have to recognize that the floods and the landslides are now joining the winds and so on, and the earthquakes. Now, DepEd has only funds for site titling. So, finally, Mr. President, since we are in education, we always ask, what are the lessons that we can learn from this recent experience? One is that we cannot be business as usual in the usual preparation for typhoons, na yung wind and so on, yung communication, etc. We have to include already flooding and landslides because nawiweaken na yung ating geological atmosphere. And this requires, of course, huge budgetary outlays. And so we are suggesting that it should be considered as part of the budget process, that we consider the accelerating damage, which are already irreversible. So every year we have more and more damages, which we have to prepare for. So my financial requirements yan. And finally, Mr. President, I always say finally, Mr. President, our immediate response of government is we give into their immediate needs, like the food packs, the clothes, etc., building materials. And after the storm, then we prepare for the next round of disasters again. So perhaps it would be good also to mobilize the entire country and not look only to government to be providing the food packs and the building materials, but mobilize the public sector, the private sector, the schools, the organization in an organized manner. Hindi ito makakaya ng government at the rate that destructions are escalating. The extent of the damage has been escalating so much that government may not necessarily have the sustained funds to catch up with the worsening situation in climate change. So siguro kasama dito is really mobilization of the public, the citizenry. We in education are doing our part by educating our children, but the various organizations, they have to, give their services for technical assistance in the dams, the flood control. Bicol River Basin Development Authority, panahon pa ni Marcos yan, created precisely to control floods. That's how many decades ago, nearly as old as I am. So perhaps if we mobilize the entire country, this is not a responsibility of government alone. This is our responsibility, and we all have to help out. And it's not only giving, which is very important, the food packs and everything, but preparing for even much more threatening natural disasters. Mr. President, thank you very much.
Two things in my response. One would be questions sa Pag-asa, sir. The changing, not really, but the radical changes in today's climate, weather. there seems to be a lot of precipitation everywhere. So we'll have to deal with, about a little over 7-10 years ago. Itong mga landslides na ito, I've been a government worker for so long. Hindi naman masyado ito na but now we have multiple landslide everywhere. So gusto kong malaman, I do not have the answer as yet, kung bakit maraming landslide palagi ngayon. And noon, wala namang yung mga eskwelahan, yung sa baba ng slopes. But now, there seems to be a loosening of the soil everywhere. And as it is want to happen, it is really a multiple thing for us. We were viewing the roadside kanina. Karaming, landslide talaga. You have to work your way before you can restore the mobility of the community. Second po, may I ask, I am ignorant about it. Bakit ho maraming tubig sa Kiboy o kay Pagasa? Si Mr. Pati Solidum. Solidum because you predict the weather. Predict it somewhere else and...
Good afternoon, sir. Yung first question, why are we noticing many landslides now? Obviously, with global warming, we are experiencing more rain. Unfortunately, it's not rain that triggers landslide as well. We are also developing many areas. We are constructing roads. If you notice, many of the landslides in the Bicol area are along road cuts. And unfortunately, many houses were built on road easements and also on the lower end of the roads. So with the development, we also have to make sure that we employ slow protection, saka drainages po ng ating ginagawang kalsada, so that this will not be the site of future landslides. So merong risk of development if we don't really do these things properly. Now, why was the rainfall so high in the area? First of all, a tropical depression is the lowest category of tropical cyclone in terms of wind speed. However, it also moves very slow. Parang, kumbaga, hindi maka-move on yan ng mabilis. So it brings a lot of water, and because it moves very slowly, it dumps a lot of rain in the area. Unfortunately, when Usman came closer to Visayas, it moved very slowly, parang nag-park siya. 28, 29 na lang siya naglandfall. So, in addition of the forecast moderate to heavy rainfall, nadagdagan palalo yung ulan kasi hindi siya umusad. And that is why, Mr. President, dumami po yung ulan. The rain was essentially, 2 days of rain was almost equivalent to the whole month of December historical rainfall in Bicol. If the tropical cyclone would have moved faster, then the rainfall in the Bicol area might not be very high. But still, it's still way above the threshold of triggering landslide po and flood. So yun po yung cause. But going back to the frequency of landslides, it's a combination of many factors. One is the changing climate, plus the fact that yung mga soil with time nagiging weathered, mas erodible. Yung mga dinaanan po from Tiwi to Sagnay ay easily erodible material. And unfortunately, doon po karamihan sa mga kalsada nagsimula yung mga landslide. So isa rin pong dapat concern ng government is to make sure that the roads that we develop would have ample slow protection. Second, also drainage. And third, ibawal yung mga nagbabahay sa tabi ng mga kalsada at sa baba noon. Yun po, Mr. President.
But you can say that climate has something really to do with
Yes,
a lot
sir.
of
Yes, sir.
moisture up. No, it's either a consequence or a causal.
It's one of the trigger po yung trigger yun. And, but again, if the rain becomes more extreme, the probability of having more landslide increases. So because of global warming po. So we really have to make sure that we don't focus only on the typhoon signal, which refers to the wind strength, pero kailangan din po na madalas balitaan natin kahit hindi na malakas yung ulan, marami pa rin tubig na babagsak. That's why, i-explain ko lang din po yung pag-asa advisories po, no? Nagbibigay ang pag-asa ng 24-hour forecast. Sasabihin nila light o moderate to heavy rains. Pero pag na-record na ng pag-asa na heavy na yung pag-ulan, sinasabi na nila, nag-i-issue po sila ng heavy rainfall warning. Yun po yung yellow, red, yellow, orange, red. Ito po yung nowcasting. Ito yung nangyayari. So kapag hindi pa umaalis yung mga tao, dahil sa forecast na moderate to heavy, dapat may action na sila pag sinabing yellow, orange, or red. Kasi mas dyan na talaga nangyayari yung heavy pong ulan. So, sa DOST side po, we will have to make sure that we have to emphasize this. We also wanted to engage MGB in the press briefings of DOST, that they will be part of really announcing the areas every time there's a press briefing. So combination po talaga ng extreme weather, but so that's why we have extreme actions to also do to cope up with the changing condition po.
But ang problema kasi nito, boy, is we've been sending so many people. That's why I fired also so many people for attending climate change dito, South Africa, Tokyo, Canada, Ottawa. 21 travel, sabi ko, climate change, and we are at the losing end of the shit. Sige pa rin patay, sige pa rin collapse. So, I better help ourselves than listen to those idiots there in Europe. I've read, I have come across General Halad's position paper. Yung ginawa mo na nabasa ko. I have plans of making his department, his agency, a regular department, solely to meet the challenges of itong ano. Wala, so kanya lahat yan. Para kanya na ang ano, iyo na lahat. Pati pagpigil sa bagyo. Putang inang yan. Dala ka ng blower doon ano mo? Buisit itong bagyo. Alam mo, dapat yung mga bagyo, huwag ninyong pangalanan ng mga Usman. Si Randy Usman, Maranaw yan eh. He's my brother in the Maranao side. Mga Usman, antindi niya. Mga Bernadette, ganon. Leonora. Mga si Lenny, gano'n ba para no, we should not take her name in vain. She's pero nakita ko yung ano mo, paki-kompleto na lang noon. General Halad has been there very much ahead than the other. Kung ano daw, tingnan mo kung, and I will ask Vidal Dia to and
Sir,
I am not my fellow Filipinos, especially the Bicolanos. I know that you are a forgiving tribe, but let me just abuse your time. I brought along my 3 candidates for Senator, hindi ko naman sinasabi na, Joy, ganito yan, Joy. Pag matalo yan sila, may 3 years pa ako. Oh, kailangan ninyo ang perma ko sa release. Nasa inyo yan. Kasi pwede naman tayo magkaibigan. Pwede naman tayong walang imikan. I've been used to it. Go, Joy. We were together in the 11th Congress.
May pangako po ako sa tatlong yan, sir. Tatlo lang yan. Si
Kasi ikaw noon, nung puro left tayo, huwag na lang natin taguan. Kami yung mag-left, nagpurma. So, we voted for one candidate. Not really left na komunista, but yung gusto namin kasi yung hindi traditional, so we talk with Joy and everybody. Sabi ko, nadala ako sa drama mo, baka madala ko rin ka sa drama ko. Ang lahat naman dito, pwede naman kayo punta ng Malacanang, pahingi-hingi. Lalo na yung 46 billion na yan. Kung wala kayo, sigurado. It will remain a lagoon for you to swim. Hindi na kayo mapunta ng dagat. Wala kang dagat. Pero I'd like to ask Bato to stand up. Let me abuse government time. Ano lang naman. Alam mo ito si Bato talaga. I was a prosecutor before. Piskal lang ako. But when he graduated sa PMAyer, he was assigned in Davao. And later on, he married. Ninong ako nito. And I said, I cannot use any other word except to say that he is really fundamentally honest. So, totoo yan. For all the many, hinihingi nila, binibigay ko talaga sa kanya because may produkto eh. Pag may kidnapping, ganon, tapos ibigay mo, sabi ko, sabihin mo, putang ina, wag mong dalhin sa akin yan, buhay, ha? Patay talaga yan. Patay na kidnapper, wala mang ibang solusyon yung mga animal na yan. Pati droga. So, Bato was really, not because of his friendship or liaison with me, but because he is really patriotic. At marami itong dinaan during the Sparrow days na marami kaming kasama na namatay dyan sa Davao. But he survived. And he would like to, I'm endorsing him, Senator. Pati kailangan yun. Nakita naman ninyo. I'm not trying really to derogate anybody. May mga military naman dyan. Nakita mo naman yung ginawa. Was there any legislation of significance? Wala. Puro pambaboy ng tao. Sabi ko, bigyan naman ninyo ng Mindanao. He's a military man. He's good. Galing PMA yan. And I said, what I like about him is that he is fundamentally honest. I can assure you. But more than that, after this election, I would be there still for 3 years. So, kung hindi tayo magkaintindihan dito, bahala kayo. Another one, ang hindi ko talaga na basi kayo. Alam mo si Francis Tolentino? Alam mo kasi ito, I knew him since he was vice mayor. Nagmumotor kami noon, Tagaytay. Sa motor kami nagkakilala. Matter of fact, we toured the entire country, the length and breadth of the Philippines, nakamotor lang. Francis, walang hangin ito. Abogado. Ako, hindi naman ako. Tingnan mo yung pinaparada nila na mga kandidato. You think that they would really be contributing something to the country? You keep on electing and re-electing only to say na hindi ko man ano yan, hindi ko forte. You aspire for a position and mean you are there, a sacred one at that. You just belittle it by the way. Hindi ko man feel yan. Kasi ito si Francis was mayor. Kung ano ninyo, mas isa, ipagpalit ninyo dyan sa mga... Ako, I do not want to mention. But look guys, ang Pilipino talaga, showbiz eh. Now, lagyan ninyo ng mga tao na, for after all, we are in a thick, the ship of state of the Republic of the Philippines is sailing on rough waters. I am not saying that there is a storm, but unless we get through with this BOL and what would be the reaction of Ms. Wari, sabihin niya is left behind is something which I have to work overtime. Pero ito medyo okay na sa atin. Ang talagang medyo matigas na nakikita ko na wala talagang pag-asa, ito si Season. And dito sa Bicol, malakas ang NPA. Yan na lang talaga ang ano dito. Wala tayong makuha dyan sa NPA. Baski na sabihin nila walang coalition, but they want to join yung mga economic bodies natin, kaya na NEDA, itong Department of Trade. Mahirap yan. Even when si Tigualo was in, pati si Mariano, kung hindi ko hininto yung occupy ng gago, but gusto ko ngang kausapin yung... Well, he was there, a cabinet member at that. He was egging people na, sige, mag-ano ka, okupasyon. If there is a vacant lot, sige, you. Kaya I was forced to come up, sabi ko, do not do that because I will order the law enforcement to arrest you, and if you fight, to shoot you dead. Yan lang ang pantakot talaga. Hindi pantakot. Yan talaga ang gawin mo. Anso pagsabi na matay, ay putang ina. Sinabi ko na sa yung wag ninyong gawin. Tapos si Tigualo, yung pangtawid, doon nakikita sa kampo ng mga NPA yung mga envelopes. Okay man yan. Wala akong problema. Total, mahirap rin itong mga gagawin to eh. Ang problema lang nito, they do not know what is really the real score and what is the impact of the insurgency sa kanilang buhay. Wala mga, they were so Season. Tapos maniwala sila ng utak na Season na. Pero sabi ko sa inyo, I pray that if there's going to be a talk, really talk, I don't know what will happen, and if it can happen at all. Mas mahirap kausapin ito si Halandone pati si Agkawili. Si Agkawili sinahaluan ng mga legal-legal dyan. Sabi ko, wala. They came here, they wanted to talk to me. Sabi ko, ano? Yung mga legal-legal na yan. You come, cut and cut cleanly. You adapt the democracy that we find ourselves in. Yung pangatlo, hindi to si Bong Go, he is only Go because his father is Chinese. But ang mother nito, tesoro to. Ugali ng mga taga-Davao na Batangueño, may magago rin talaga. No. Kaya galit rin ito sa NPA kasi yung lolo niya, si Ogos, mason yun. Maglalaro ng golf sa Davao, binira sa Bunganga. Nandoon ko ba noon? Bakit ka matakot? Left ka man. Kuya yung negotiator ko. Ito si Bebot, left talaga to. Bula-bula pa tayo. You know, when Partido was formed, right after EDSA, sumali kami dalawa. Talagang amin is, we fight this in a Republican form of struggle. Nung nandoon na kami sa partido, after a few days of, pumasok na itong mga hardcore, yung mga, sabi ko kay Bebot, Bot, hindi ako pwede na. I cannot be fighting the Filipinos by armed struggle. Papatay ako ng kapwa ko Pilipino dyan. Sumibat ako. Sumibat talaga ako. Sabi ko, hindi ko kaya yan. Ngayon, hindi na kami magkaintindihan Pero, I'd like you to know that we are keeping the fire burning and hindi mo pwedeng sarahan You cannot afford to lose all channels of communication. Mag-iwan ka talaga maski maliit. Mag-iwan ka maski maliit. So meron yan. Sabi ko, sige. Basta walang coalition and yung malalaking undersecretary siguro, o director, total na, pwede mo yan. But not money. Mahirap. So yan ang istorya natin. Tatlo sila. Si Bato. Sabi ko kasi Bato na sumama ka na ngayon para and also, the military ways. You protect also the sector that you know best to handle. Mga military, kinakaya-kaya mo na. Pinagsisigaw-sigawan ba? Huwag kang pumayag ng gano'n. State your case plainly, truthfully, respectfully. So, ma'am, yung iyo, I was listening to you. Yung we will take it up with there's a cabinet meeting coming up in a few days. I-connect ko kayong dalawa because he has a good plan. And of course, with your input, tapos kay Edel Rosario, siya may-ari ng NHA. Mabilis ang ating. Yes, sir. Boy.
Sir, that we will have to complete the installation of manned synoptic stations in all provinces. So, mga 20 provinces pa po ang wala. So, we will complete that. And I would like to echo a suggestion coming from one of our mayors, Mayor Padilla here of Panganiban. He said that maybe we should include the transistor radios in the emergency kit of people kasi kung minsan pag nawala ng signal, mahalaga po yung mga transistor radios for dissemination.
Ito yan. Critical messages that cannot be conveyed anymore sa... Tama yan. Marami ngayong ano. Yes,
DTI, boss.
Secretary Lopez.
Just to complete the report, at least sa atin po, we have monitored before and right after the tropical depression, yung supply ng mga produkto. At saka yung all municipalities that were affected. Meron tayong mga taglits na monitor ng mga tindahan in those municipalities. So, making use of our business counselors in the negosyo center. We have many of those per municipalities now. And aside from generally stable, may na-discover na dalawa, pero oras no kinorek yun, they immediately, yung mga stores na yun, immediately brought back yung presyo na 1 peso higher than the SRP. Even by 1 peso, kinokorek natin. And they basically brought it back. These were found in Iriga City and Pulangi. No? So now we can say na lahat po ay stable prices. Of course, sinunod din natin ngayon yung since declared ang calamity, naka-price freeze po dito sa mga probinsya na nabanggit, Camsur, Cam Norte, Albay, and Sorsogon. Okay. And then we are, doon sa nangangailangan, we are ready to bring in the Diskwento Caravan. Ito yung mga special stores kung saan yung basic commodities na mas mura pa sa SRP can be provided. Para meron sources at walang shortage, importante may mabibilin ang ating mga kababayan na naapektuhan. Kung pwede ho ako mag-digress dun sa usapan on the long-term solution, ang baka ho makatulong din yung pag-consider nung review ng mga land zoning sa mga lugar. Kung meron ng mga safe na lugar na alam nating safe, yung mga next project should be located there, whether residential, commercial, the roads. There are places na pagka ni-review yung land zoning po and part of the land use plan, will give us a direction where to build the future. And dun sa mga alam nating delikado, hazardous at malalalim and catch basin, obviously we should not build the future there. And in fact, there should be a purposive relocation already para hindi na intayin yung disaster and sakuna because we are a country na talagang inaapektuhan at dinadaanan talaga ng mga bagyo. So hindi every year po yon. So talagang really have to plan for the future and strict implementation at the local government level. Kung bawal sa lugar na yun, bawal dapat talaga. Hindi dapat talaga mag-allow ng mag-build up ng community, one house, naging two houses, naging community na, at pagkatapos mahirap ng malipat. So, yun lang po ang input natin doon.
Anybody would like to say something before we go? Governor Bichara.
We have acquired lands already for settlement, relocation, and we're still acquiring. But we can also do the site development. But our problem is the houses. And I was informed that the NHA doesn't have enough funds. It was slashed down. So do we have funds for this purpose, for housing?
Well, si Eder Rosario, when he was appointed, right after yung sa Marawi, tinawag ko siya because there was a lot of matrix in front of me and it was convoluted. And it really encourages one, corruption. Second is indolence kasi maraming committee. Tawag ko si Ed, he was with the Defense Department at the time. I appointed him Undersecretary. Sabi ko, tawagin mo si De Rosario. So, kilala ko to siya, sir, kasi naging task force daw. sabi ko na maghanap ako ng pera, build me something like, ilan na ba nagawa mo ngayon, Ed? Ang bahay? Marawi lang. Okay, ganito ang ano ko. Basta, there's a fund that we're trying to sinisilip natin. If it can be freed and transferred to another department for good use, I said, I will ask Ed to initiate some mga houses dito sa napili mo na lugar which you think are safe. Maybe I'll give you 300 houses. Okay na siguro yan?
For Albay, how about Camarines Sur? Kasi mag-relocate din sila eh.
Siguro.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Siguro pwede po natin simulan dito sa Barangay Patitiknan where 30 people died the past few days. The province has already located a provincially owned lot, 25 hectares. 552 households po ang buong Barangay Patitiknan, and based on MGB, the whole barangay is landslide prone. So pwede po ilipat ng province 25 hectares kung may pangtapat na pambuild ng houses na disaster resilient.
Once I said we get that money, I have made my objections. And the House, salamat naman sa inyo, agreed with me. And the Senate also wanted it, so wala tayong problema. Ang akin lang, if they would listen to my appeal that we use part of the money for the pressing problems of Bicol. It's about 46 billion. Tama-tama lang kung walang sapangan dyan, pagbigyan natin yung iba. I'm ready to spend the money to improve the topography of the place and make it safe for people to build houses. Or really just get out of those mountainous thing, especially if there's a mine being operated behind. Mahirap yan. But you can always call on General Simato. Pag sinabi niya, sira yan. And you should congratulate General Anyo, General Simato, and Secretary Bernadette for the Bukarab-Boracay. Hindi sa Boracay raw, kung maligo ka, hindi lang malinis, maging gwapo ka daw pagka, no? So, believe ako. So, as a last, may I hear from my classmate, Judge Clavicilia. Brad ko to, classmate ko pa.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our office, the Office of the Presidential Assistant for Bicol, at the outset of Typhoon Usman, we were able to mobilize the different governmental agencies, national in scope, including the DSWD as our lead agency, the Department of Public Works and Highways, the Department of Agriculture, the Department of Health, NEDA, and the ILG. On our part, Mr. President, we utilize or mobilize these agencies for the simple reason that they have the funding and the manpower. And I'm very happy to report to you, Mr. President, the cooperation and support given by these agencies to your administration. So all these concerned agencies have reported to their central offices, and we have already heard their explanations, their presentations, and I'm happy that you gave our region, the Bicol region, the priority insofar as the misuse of the road board is concerned. Kailangan po namin talaga ang funding because marami pong na siraan pong bahay. And when the 4 municipalities in Rinconada, Buhi, Iriga, Nabwa, and Baaw, andoon po ang mga government agencies na nag-respond kaagad. And I'm very appreciative of the support given by Director Arnel Garcia, who is the president of the Regional Directors Association of Bicol, for their utmost support and cooperation. Sana po may their tribe increase. Thank you, Mr. President.
Alam mo, classmate, ganito yan, I think I appointed you as presidential assistant for Bicol. Good, because the last time there was a disaster here, there was a calamity, and I needed somebody as a point man who supervised and who gave me the information from time to time was Attorney Tolentino. Si Francis.
Yes.
He stayed here for about 2 months, I think, just to oversee all of those things. Now, alam mo kasi, I'll give you the stuff that you want.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. We have not yet approved our budget.
Yeah, I know. You just wait. I will give it to you, but yung trabaho niya, yun na ang trabaho mo.
I will
Because
accept that.
maano ito next election time, and God forbid if there's anything else that I have to take care, so ikaw yun. So tayo na ang magtawagan.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Ilan ang gusto mong stop? 20 beautiful women? You know, the reason why I give you the priority in the project is that you have a very beautiful vice president here. Lenny, tell her that she's really beautiful. So, kung wala na, we will fly out because I have late dinner. Yes, sir. May I help you?
Good sound test. Good evening, Mr. President. Just like what Governor Bizzara said and Governor El Rey, the province of Sorsogon is also appealing for housing units. We already acquired sites as relocation sites, and we need housing units, Mr. President.
Those sites will be developed by you or by the NHA who would come in to construct the houses?
We will develop, Mr. President, the site.
Okay. That's clear. Sige. Everything all right? Joy? Wala na. You still have a critique to follow? No more?
Is there a critique? Di na daw eh. Sir, yung trader namin sa Birac, huwag kayong magagalit. Mas konti sana namatay kung nandun yun. Doppler radar. Hindi namin ma-access. Kasi hindi ka makakaasa sa satellite. Kasi yung satellite hindi spatially correspondent dun sa actual conditions. Pangalawa, sir, yung ano natin, kasi lilitaw lulubog yung red, yellow, orange. Kaya kung pwede po, for the day, at least good for one day man lang yung rainfall warning natin. Hindi po pwede yun na nililift nyo after 2 to 3 hours. So kung if you have at least a more long-term rainfall forecast, absent any major visible event like a TECF, an LPA, or a TD, or anything, then there is no basis for household to make a decision with respect to their safety. The only thing that they can depend on is a science-based, DOST issued, more, hindi nga long-term, kahit one day man lang, sir, tumagal. Kasi nga, yun na nangyari. Kasi lulubog, lilitaw yung yellow, orange, green, yellow, orange, red ninyo eh. Kaya, anyway, so yun lang, Mr. President. Kasi they have the Doppler radar, we cannot access it. And of course, lulubog, lilitaw po yung rainfall warning ho natin.
Thank you po, Governor, Congressman Salceda. Actually po, ang BSAT natin na nagbibigay po ng road data sa Legazpi at pwedeng i-access ng APSIMO ni Cedric ay nasa back na po at for kasi forbidding po yung BSAT na connectivity na yun po. So nasa back na po yun at pinapangako po namin na within February po ay na po yan. Ma-access na po natin yan dahil wala po kami magawa na sa bidding process po. Sa government po kami, hindi po namin talaga So, but the radar is working.
So, nanging problema nyo, bidding?
Ongoing po yung bidding process sa BSAT. At pinapangako po namin na ipapastrak po namin dahil ang radar po ay gumagana, ang press data lang po ng binibigay ng BSAT, yun lang po nagkaroon ng pero ginawa po namin ng paraan, tiniturn namin ito JPEG, binibigay po namin through internet at na-access naman po sa Legazpi and then naibabato po sa Manila po.
Thank you, Mr. President, for coming. It's very inspiring to all
Thank you
Bicolanos.
for your questions also. Yes, sir. May I help you?
Governor Talyado po. Sir, sa Camarines Norte po, itong napakalakas pong bahang ito, malaki po ang damage sa amin. More or less po 1.4 billion ang damage po sa amin. Ang malaki po rito yung mga infrastructure. So, ang Camarines Norte po, ito rin ay sa mga prone sa landslide. Kasi po, ang namatay po namin sa landslide is 12. Dalawa po sa baha. So, ganun din po, yung ibang mga governor narinig ko po, yung problema rin yung may lote rin po kami na pwedeng paglagyan po ng housing project. So, sana po matulungan po ang Camarines Norte para makapagtayo kami ng mga housing project sa mga doon po sa dapat mga i-relocate. Then isa pa po, meron kami isang river doon, napakalaking river, na catch basin po din ito. Pag umulan po sa Camarines Sur, doon po ang baksak sa amin sa Quezon Province po. Pag umulan po doon, sa amin po ang baksak. So kailangan din po ito ma-dredge. Kasi po yung bahay ko din po ay kami rin po yung bahay ko rin po ay isa rin sa mga biktima. Kasi po dalawang sasakyan ko po lumubog. Ganun po kadlaki ang tubig sa Camarines Norte. Thank you, sir.
Ito naman siguro, we got the knowledge we want to hear from you, so the wherewithal, where to come. Basta ang pangako ko, once that road tax money is freed, you will be the first recipients projects dito. Kasi kayo yung tinatamaan palagi. Ano bang kasalanan mo? You must be leading a sinful life. God damn it, La Vigilia. Let's go home.
Pag ano, 1, 2, 3 sila, may bonus po ah.
Well,
Pag 1, 2, 3 sila.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And that ends our situation briefing. May we request everyone to please remain seated as until the President is about to leave the hall. Thank you. Again, may we request everyone to please remain seated.